reason together. Great minds, we are open to reality. Oh, we want no more. We are hungry for more. We are curious, always searching for the truth. Great minds, come let us reason together. Great minds, come let us reason together. Come let us reason. Great minds, come let us reason together. Great minds, come let us reason.
Welcome. Now, if today looks a little different, that's because today will be different. But for those that already know how this show usually goes, welcome back to the Great Minds, the young adult Real Talk Forum, a place where great minds meet to talk about real issues in today's society. Today, I am with a very beautiful co-host, Albie. Albie, say hello.
Hi guys, I'm excited to be here today, co-hosting with Sinclair.
Well, thank you all for coming. Thank you all for being on here. We open the show in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Now, today you might notice, where is Justina and Patty? Well, guess what? Today, our host will actually be our panelist. So we will ask them to join us if they are in the background. They're probably shaking. They're probably a little nervous because they have no idea what's in store, even though they know what the show is about. So Justina and Patty, come on in and join us. How you guys doing?
Not okay. We're not okay. We're not.
Fine. You're
Okay,
perfectly fine.
Justina,
why are you sweating so much?
Okay.
I don't know, because I've only been on the other side one time.
Okay.
And that
have
was-
you, Tina?
Yes,
Oh,
the first show, the
wow.
very first show. So
Well, I ain't never been on this side, and this ain't gonna happen again. Tina,
I mean, you guys look like you're sweating bullets. It's okay. It's okay. Now, so you know what? To make it even
I
better,
know where you live.
you do? I moved. Don't worry about it. Now, to make this show even better, so you guys can experience what most of the panelists usually experience. Albie, you want to tell them what I'm about to do that they don't know I'm about to do?
Oh God.
Yes. So we've got an icebreaker for you guys.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm
That was
allergic to
To
ice.
experience great minds.
I'm completely allergic to ice, so I can't.
Oh, really? That's okay. We'll break it together for you. And in fact, because you hate it so much, most people who are watching the show, you might already know that Patty's usually the one to give us the icebreakers.
Yes.
So today we're gonna give her an icebreaker, right?
Mhm.
Yes. Now don't worry, Justine. I got something in store for you too. So,
Oh my God.
Patty, before we begin the show, so anybody can really know what we're actually doing today,
Mm-hmm.
you always talk about how wonderful your husband is. I mean, every time on the text message, on the phone call, in person, we just can't get enough about how wonderful your husband is.
Hey, they calling you.
Oh my God.
So if he's there, he can join you. But the question is, what advice can your husband, or better yet, what advice can you give your husband that would help you host the show even better?
Oh, that's a good one. Okay, you guys, you do not come to play. I like. I think if my husband can hold a fan over me while I'm talking and have like some grapes that he like passes to me during the show, it would be so dope. It would be so awesome. It gets hot. It gets hot. You know, as you're talking, it's like super hot and like you get excited. So if he's like just here fanning me as the show is going on, and giving me snacks. I like to eat in like seconds increments. Yeah, I think that'd be good. And I hear like some stomping, so I'm kind of nervous. Like,
yeah, I hope he's coming up because I'm hoping he's listening in the background, and maybe he's going the fan. Maybe he's getting the fan so he can, there we
go. I'm here.
Oh, there we go. See,
Yes.
he's listening to you. I think the next show, or probably this very show, at any moment in time, people, if you see a very handsome man in the background fanning Patty, that's her husband. Don't be
That's my
alarmed.
husband. That's my
Um,
husband.
Yes. So, Justina, usually you guys would say, and the same question goes for you. Well, guess what? I'm not gonna give you the same question because
Oh
we already know how wonderful your husband is, right? He fans you before you even came on the show.
Yes, I saw it. Yes.
Oh, look at that. I just got snagged.
So look at that. Look at that.
No, that will actually blow her way.
There we go.
Wait, you feel like a heater. There's a heater.
Perfect. That was perfect. That was perfect. Excellent. See, you know it. He's already on it. He's already on it. We thank the husbands of this show. See, Father's Day was not too long ago. Husband's Day should be every year, every day. So he got it. Now, Justina,
Yes, sir.
me and you talk about food all the time. I'm not gonna put you on the spot, right? But there are times where you come on this show really hungry. So yeah, I can see it on her face. She knows what I'm talking about. That's why she's so silent. So I'm gonna keep it simple for you. If there is one food that you could eat on this show while it's being aired, what would it be and why?
Eto.
Hey,
Really?
Yeah.
Those of us who don't speak the traditional.
Yeah, that's the part. So it's a mashed,
what is that?
Mashed
sweet
potatoes?
plantain with pepper and peanut. But
Mashed
not
sweet
really soft.
potatoes with
And-
pepper.
No, not sweet potatoes. Plantains
Uh-huh.
with pepper, peanut, with some peanut on it,
Uh-huh.
and
You know,
some
that only sounds
avocado.
good. That sounds good in Chi only. That does not sound good
Madam,
translated into
listen.
English.
He
Yeah.
asked me what would I be eating whilst if I'm allowed. He didn't ask about any snacks, right? Sinclair, you said
it's
food.
food. Yes.
Thank you very much.
That's
So
my
that's
favorite
what
food.
I'll
I'll
be
tell
eating.
you
I'll
this,
be eating
girl.
some
Oh my
mashed
God.
sweet plantain with some peanut on it and roasted peanut actually, and then some avocados on it. And add, add 2 eggs to it.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
I'm
I will add.
See, this chick doesn't come just like that. Okay.
No. Okay. Our producers, if you're there, please get us a picture of this atoll that she's talking about. It sounds very foreign to most of us that's listening.
It
but
is
those who are
foreign.
African
I'm
descent,
sorry. I'm sorry. That's
they know what it is. Albie, can you tell me, is atoll a snack or an actual food? Because some people consider that a snack.
food.
Oh, you know what? It depends on your definition. So let me tell you, my sister-in-law is American, and the last time she was like, "Cake is such a good snack." I'm like, "What?" Cake is a snack. So to me, eto is food, but who knows?
It's heavy
Maybe
food.
it's hard to somebody.
A heavy snack.
It just depends on how you want to
Right.
call it.
Yeah.
Man, well, with that being in mind, Albie, tell us why today is so special.
Okay, thank you, Sinclair. So first of all, today is really special because we've got Patty and Justina on the hot seat. Yay! You see, Patty came all prepared in her pink bow, looking all girly and sweet. Justina looking all dope. We've got them in the hot seat, so that makes today very special.
We're the headband sisters.
Secondly, Great Minds is 4 years today. Hooray! Oh, and we've got
Oh,
us
and that's
on
the
our screen.
Man.
This is that toy you were talking about.
Well,
Exactly.
this is what we're celebrating with the Great Minds. It looks like somebody prepared it and then took a picture just for the show.
I agree.
Our producers are awesome.
Yes, so Great Minds is 4 years today.
Oh, yes, today.
Yes, it's amazing.
After
We
all
are
those
here to
diapers
celebrate
being
the
changed.
goodness of the Lord and actually listen to the intricacies of what goes into the show. So yes, we are glad to have you all online. Thank you for coming, and we promise you it's going to be amazing.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Abby. We are calling on great minds at home and in the chat to put in their questions that you may have for the host. Every time you guys ask a question, they punt it off onto the panelists. Today, you get to ask them all the questions, and some questions we have for them, hopefully they can answer it, but maybe you guys have a better question. Maybe you guys have a better question for our host than we actually have come up with, right? So we'll start it off really simple, right? We want to know, how did Great Minds actually begin? What was the vision? What was the thought? Did you go to sleep and eat a talk, and then you woke up and like, oh my goodness, I have gotten a vision? So how did you guys come up with this?
Just like that. You answered it. Justina got that one. She's the great mind behind Great Minds.
Wow.
I'm just the brand ambassador that's not getting paid.
Who is actually asking for wigs every show. Anyway.
And have yet to receive. Oh.
How did Great Minds started? So just to cut the long, so let me start. Once upon a time,
oh Lord have mercy.
So one day what I normally do is I have a prayer topics posted in my bathroom, right? So where anytime I go into the bathroom, I see those prayer topics. So I would just choose one and pray about it and then leave the bathroom. So I have more than almost 30 prayer topics in my bathroom. And on one sheet is dreams and visions and things that I want to do. And during COVID, we were home and we started young couples meeting from church, where the young couples will meet on Zoom and talk about things that's going on in our marriages. Not really in depth, but share ideas, Bible verses, and we'll pray. So one day I was sitting there, I'm like, okay, so it's young couples. What about if I start a show and just invite individuals? It can be couples, it can be youth, but just invite individuals and ask them what is really going on in their life, right? Things that we don't talk about. And those are the things that we started learning whilst we're on lockdown. You go on YouTube, you go on TV, news, people were young, especially the young ones. My focus was more on the young ones. Some of them killing themselves, talking about depression, hearing about diseases that I've never heard before, really depression things. I mean, it was really bad. So I was in the bathroom taking a shower and I just jumped. I was just praying about it. And it was a different name altogether that I posted on my bathroom. And I was in the bathroom, I just jumped. I was like, babe, what about Great Minds? Wow. I was like, what is Great Minds? I was like, show called Great Minds. And I was like, but are you talking about doctors and lawyers? And I'm looking at him like, doctors and lawyers, Great Minds. It's like Great Minds. So I was like, oh, okay, so what is it going to be about? And I told him, this is what I want to do. I want to really focus on what is going, especially in the African communities, things that we don't talk about, childbirth, education, jobs, like depression, whatever we don't talk about, I want to talk about. And I was like, and he was like, this is a very good idea. And I called Pat, no, it was Tuesday. So Sunday we went to church and I called Elder Watson, K. Boat. I was like, hey, this is what I'm thinking about. He was like, oh, let's do it Sunday. I was like, nope, we are not doing it Sunday. That's an idea. I'll talk to you about it. And then right after church, I called Patty. I was like, Patty, this is what I'm really thinking about. Like the young ones have been meeting on Zoom every Sunday, every other Sunday, talking about all these things. What about we come out of Zoom and reach out to other people? I mean, you never know what will happen, right? Mm-hmm. And Patty was like, oh, this is a good idea. That was Sunday. Tuesday, I was home. This chica called me saying, oh, I just called Pastor Hayford. Pastor Hayford said we should start on Sunday. I was like,
we got time to play. Let's go.
I was like, ma'am, listen, it was just an idea. I don't even know how we want to start it. Once on the phone at a cable call, so we did through it. Oh, sister, I started Sunday. I was like, no. Wow. Nobody's starting any show on Sunday. I don't even know how it's going to happen. I don't even know what is going to happen. And then Patty called Elder Justice Apiacham, the district youth and pencil leader. And Justice was like, yeah, let's start. I'm like, what is wrong with you guys? You can't just start a show. You need to sit down and think about it. Like, in depth, what do you really want to talk about? So I think we gave ourselves 2 weeks, right, Patty? We sat down, we met one Friday evening. We were on Zoom till like 1:30, almost 2 a.m. Really
Yeah.
thinking about what to do, how to go about it, who do we need, who do we want to involve in, what do we want to do, how do we want to go about it.
Right.
So, and then we talked to the Justice, and because the main focus was on the youth and Pensa, we needed to bring it under the youth and Pensa ministry. And the rest is history. I mean, we meet on YouTube, trying things out, but paying our own. What was
Yeah.
it? We started with Zoom. We were paying it. We were rotating. Everybody was paying it every month. We started
Yeah.
doing it in person. I mean, I know it will come up, but that's how it started. That's how Great Mind started. And we had great elders at the front at the mic who really,
Yeah. Believed
came
in us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like she said, right,
Or just-
exactly. Pastor Jumpo, we started it under the leadership of Pastor Jumpo, and then our pastor Sian took it and just
took it like
took it to another level. And even now with our Pastor Maxwell, I mean, we've just been blessed. We've been blessed that, like Justina is saying, the idea came offline, right? Like a separate thing. It didn't come like a church initiative, but we took it immediately to the church leaders, to our pastors, and to our leaders, and they just took it and have just flourished it, and even to get us to the point where we were able to connect to get on COP USA to stream it from here, right, with Elder Sam. So it's been just phenomenal. But yeah, everything said, right? If you guys remember the keywords that she said in the beginning, I was minding my business.
So you think you were dragged into this? Is that what you think?
It just didn't put me in. Got it fine. But no, I do want to say something for the beginning, because Great Minds, you guys see all of this, the prettiness after, and just ignore all these little glitches that we have. We have come a long way. Elder Kwaku, who's the presiding elder, Raquel, Elder Justice, who's our producer now, Justice Amo, Charlotte P.I. There's been some, my own husband, Elder Felix Nanakopite Champon the first, and Justice Champon, our youth leader. There's been so many minds behind Great Minds, and there's times where we were literally cable cord in the wall. Oh, our internet is cut off. People are texting, "Where's Great Minds today?" We're like, "We're here. We just can't get to you." We've been through so much. We've had shows just all over, and to even be where we are now, we're just so grateful to God.
Yeah, it has been amazing. I know names will come up later, but it has been amazing. It has been, I mean, there were days that I was behind the scene. I'm like, you, Justice and Patty, what are you guys doing? And be allowed to be behind the scenes until Justice Apia Champon decided not to host again.
Really?
Is that what happened?
It has been amazing. It has been, there has been some ups and downs, but thank God. We had
thank
great
God.
support. We have great support.
Yeah, Patty, what made you just jump on board and say, yeah, let's do it?
Well, first of all, Justina is definitely the idea woman. She's somebody that has a lot of ideas, great ideas that come from her. But I don't know. I really like the initiative. I think for me, I'm an initiative-driven person. If I believe in it, I'm going to fight for it. And when she brought it, like even our sister in the chat, I think one of the chat D said it started during COVID season when we were pondering on how to keep people connected. That's exactly what it is. This idea was a way for us to reach people that we cannot reach. Because, during COVID, we were all stuck in the house. We couldn't go anywhere. And if you guys see those clips of Great Minds in the beginning, we had the face mask. Oh my God, the shield, the mask and all that. Yeah. It was just a way for us to also come see each other. Because being able to host the show in person together was a big deal. And then also to connect with everybody else. So when she brought it, and it was so detailed, the way she explained it, and I'm like, wow, this has never been done before on this level. And even to see that out of Great Minds, several ideas have also birthed for other districts and other regions that are doing similar things or even greater things. And, I remember our former youth director, Apostle Potofi, when he came on the show for the first time, he's like, I love this. I want to see this done other places. So I think that's the vision that I saw when she started speaking. I just saw what it could be and what it was going to be. So I'm like, all right, let's get the right audience involved. And I think that's so important because a lot of us youth in Pensa, members and leaders, we have so many great ideas, but sometimes we feel like, oh, it's my idea and I don't want to give my idea away. But Justina, literally, God dropped this in her spirit, and we took this idea to the leadership of the church, and they were so supportive, you know. So I think it's so encouraging too, just to know that, you know what, we have the right people in place to kind of help push our vision and to help encourage us and keep it going.
Thank God. We thank God, Justina, for you being obedient to God's word and not being afraid to share it. But before we bring, while our first guest panelist is getting ready, let's look at some of the people that mentioned in the comments. I think Patty mentioned that Dee chimed in. Let's see. She said, "Congratulations, we made it." Shouted out to the beginners. She also said it started during the COVID season when we were pondering on how just like Patty was saying. Now, Albie, we told the host to prepare for themselves for a certain celebration. You're gonna go ahead.
My heart is still pounding though, so you know.
So go ahead. I got mine ready right now off camera. So as soon as you tell me, I'm bringing it out.
Okay. So first of all, kudos to you guys, Justina, Patty, and the entire team. God bless all the pastors who, you know what? I never knew this is the history of Great Minds. And that's the part that even warms my heart, is the fact that it was somebody's idea. And I have never ever heard Justina stand anywhere and say, Great Minds is my show, you know, it was my idea. No. And then now it brings me to the point why Great Minds is 4 years today. And it even gives me more hope that Great Minds will grow and grow and grow, because we're given, just like the people who had the talents in the Bible, you acted on it and God supplied the support system. So God bless you. See, it's not always bad to share your ideas. You just need to know who and where you are sharing it, because who knows, maybe if Justina had kept it, the idea would have died. And so because of this, if you have your glasses, I want you to hold up your glasses as we make a toast. Mine has
Sinclair. It looks like all of us is waters, but Sinclair's
Listen, why are you looking through the camera and looking at my drink? Okay? Just stick with your water, and I think Justina got like Gatorade, and I'll be got water.
What is that? Is that a cup?
This is my glass.
This is sparkling.
Our glass is wearing a dress.
It's apple cider. Okay?
That glass is celebrated, you know. Okay, so shall we raise our glasses?
For all the panelists and all the guest hosts who have gone here, God bless you all.
God bless you. It's a Great Mind.
Oh, we should hit cheers on the camera.
Yes.
Cheers. All right.
This tastes really good. I think Jesus turned my water into wine.
I think so. From now on, that's the glass I'm going to drink anything from. So, the producer in the background, he always hides his face, but I want to thank our producer. Maybe he doesn't want me to say his name, but I know him. Every one of us here know him. We thank you so much. Producer, if you're there, can you send in our first guest panelist? Because we have a few questions. Oh,
hey!
Whoa, what is going on?
Wow.
You guys pay to get Justin on the show.
Where did you get the juice from? What is going on?
Oh, listen, it's apple cider.
Apple juice. Everybody was drinking water.
Yeah. They don't worry. I got my.
Think about your kidneys, Sinclair.
Great Minds.
Justice.
Great Minds.
Since I'm always getting on your case for today, I will leave it for Albie, because she knows I'm biased to you, so I'll just let her take it.
I will have my cursor on the Leaf Studio, so when it's
my God,
I'm out.
Don't worry, Justice. We are only gonna host you for like 5 minutes, so you'll be fine. First of all, I just want to give you 5 seconds to breathe in and out. Are you comfortable? Are you okay?
No, this is
Whoa,
scary.
breathing out. So what is coming on? I wonder.
Okay, let's get into it. So,
So
listen, this wasn't going to be my question, so blame Justina. She gave you away. And she
yes.
just said that you were the host for the show when it started.
Let me go into my memory bank.
Okay, you got time. 5 seconds. Okay.
Yeah, I remember the
so
first day.
You remember. Okay. So how come we no longer see you on our screens?
Oh, okay. No worries. Let me go through my essay. I think I wrote down something. So this is what happened. I was listening in. Wow. You guys are really paying attention.
Yes.
All right. As Justina mentioned, Great Minds was the Holy Spirit birthed the Great Minds in Justina's heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you shared it with Patty and all right, Saint. So I was caught in the middle of it. I think Patricia is all to be blamed. She put me on it. I wasn't expecting it. All that I saw was on the flyer, and Justice what? Okay, I'm like, okay, I guess because it's inside Youth and Pension Ministry, I guess I will, by the mercies of God, I will do that, right? But I had at the back of my mind that sooner or later
You were gonna quit. Really?
no, I wasn't gonna quit. Sooner or later,
we made together. You were just waiting.
oh no, not that. Oh no, I wasn't gonna quit. Sooner or later, God's gonna work in me the desire to be at the work in me the desire to. Yeah, so you see, so I wasn't feeling the peace. So I wanted to be obedient to God and
Okay.
so yeah, I think that's what happened.
Okay, wonderful. So you stepping back, and mind you, Justice has not stepped back. He is just not at the front end. He's working so hard at the back end, and this is by being obedient to God. Wonderful.
Amen.
Thank you. That
Yeah,
was
we
great.
have to pray really, really hard to get you back in because I thought God was speaking to you, but apparently our prayers is going on a different direction. So
I don't know why y'all still praying because it ain't gonna happen.
okay. Do you have any shout outs before you go? Anything you want to say to impart to those of our viewers and those in the chat?
First of all, congratulations, Great Minds.
Great.
For anniversary. When when I started, it was really a learning moment for me. And when you watch TV host doing their thing and they make a little bit mistake and like, please get it together. But so I was on, I'm like, oh wow. I started praying for mercy. Like, oh wow, this thing is a lot. This thing is a lot. But so many like the tests coming in. We have to check, and also we have to be attentive to what they call it, the panelists and also your host. So a lot goes into it, and you guys have been able to do it because of the commitments and the dedication. So God richly bless you, Justina, Patty, Sinclair, Abby, and a great producer, King Justice. I call him Senior Justice. God bless you all. God bless you all. You guys have been doing great things, and God has seen that, and as he birthed that vision, Justina, he had a purpose for it, not to cut it short at a point in time, but through that, engaging the younger adults with the principles and the doctrines of the Christian life, and focusing on Christ. And you guys have been doing that. I pray that God's favor and the connection that it needs to bring it fully to come to pass will make it happen.
Amen.
Amen.
Well, I want to say something. So this is my twin brother. I just want everybody to know. My twin brother. But what I really want to say is Sinclair will tell you.
Fraternal. You forgot fraternal. Because then we were wondering, like, is this Justina? Go ahead.
Only you, Patty. Only you will come up.
Hey,
Twin brother, but you're a girl.
We love you
My
anyway.
identical twin brother.
we are very identical. Thank you. We are, if you have the eyes to see, you see.
Yeah, yeah.
Really don't have the eyes. So, but I want to say thank you, Justice, because 80% of the topics that we actually see here,
Correct.
ask the
Can you
questions
take me out? Can you take me out? Where's the producer?
comes up with those topics. We just come and sit here and look all cute and
Yes.
all that. We really don't do much. But so Justice, God bless
Okay,
you.
can I say something before I leave?
Sure, go ahead.
What I do compared to what you guys do is not close. I mean, if I'm to tell you the secret behind it, I'm like, yeah, don't do that much, right? But yeah, just a little bit. But compared to the host, feeling the pressure, having 360 degree attention or being attentive, mine is not really close. It just a little bit. Still,
It takes a village.
Yes,
Takes a village.
yes, it does.
it takes a village.
We thank you, Justice. We're gonna get you off so we can say more things about you, because the more we give you accolades, the more you're gonna reject them, and we want to give it to you without you having the opportunity to reject them. So thank you so much for
You know,
coming.
the producer, my name and producer are the same, so
Yeah, I know.
carry it off.
Yeah, I'm talking
God
about you.
bless you guys.
And
Thank
also
you
Deacon,
for
you.
coming.
Yeah, so thank you. So I'll say this, right? So what I was serious. Justice literally is like one of the backbones of this whole thing. And no matter how much you tell him how much he impact the show, he always be like, no, I don't do so much. He thinks we do a lot, but without his knowledge, without his tirelessness, without the questions that he comes up with, we would have nothing to say. So,
Yeah.
we really owe a lot to him. And if he's still listening, Justice, we thank you. I know he'll text me later. Our producer, if you can chime in our next guest panelist, who
Hey.
will it be?
And that dear. Wow.
Welcome. How have you been?
I've been doing well. How's everyone else doing?
My guys are crazy. My guys are crazy.
Our original.
Yeah, Michelle. How? So let me just ask you this: How did you get involved with Great Minds? That's number one. Number two, since we only have like 10 minutes for everybody. Number two, if you know any deep knowledge of the host and you can tell us, that would be great to share that too. So go ahead.
Okay. So to answer the first question, I was a part of the very first episode of Great Minds. If I can remember correctly, it was about Father's Day, and this was in 2020 during the pandemic. And it was a great show. We got to talk about what I really enjoyed about it was the demographic was really different. So at that time, I was 15, and we had people of other ages all talking about their different experiences with fathers. So it was really interesting, and I do really enjoy it as like how the show has grown, how I've continued to see that diversity in demographic and people sharing their experiences on different topics.
Awesome.
As for secrets, information about the host, I don't have anything for you.
What?
Good job, Michelle.
You don't have nothing at all.
Deep, Michelle.
I know she got paid. you got paid, Michelle. It's okay. You can tell us how much did they pay you?
I was a volunteer.
Oh.
Thank you,
Now,
Michi.
Patty and Justina, what do you remember about Michelle's time on the show, on the beginning of it?
I
Oh,
was
man.
a panelist as well.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah. No, Michelle was a bold soldier, because keep in mind, this was during COVID. People were scared to come out, but she came out. She came to some of the in-person screenings, and she just kind of jumped in first. And I think she really helped pave the way for that age group, right? That generation, because like she said, she was 15. So from her, it was easier to like reach out to other people within her age group as well to pull them in. But no, Michelle, we missed you on Great Minds.
Well, Michelle, thank you
Michelle's
so
a
much.
grown woman now.
Yeah. That's how long it's been, 4 years. It goes by quick when you're not paying attention. So we thank you. Thank you for gracing us with your spirit. We thank you for gracing us with your presence. This is Michelle. Let's give a clap. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Mincy.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Awesome. So who is next? Are you so Justina and Patty? Do you guys have any idea who's coming up next? I mean,
I didn't even know this was the show today.
Because if you don't, that's good. I like it that way.
So we have no idea.
Yeah, because we're trying to give you.
Is it my husband?
No.
No.
None of my husbands are coming on.
Hey,
Not,
Because they my sister.
they're in the background. So they're in the background.
They're in the background, they're my sister.
So, I'm excited about the person that's coming on next. Only because I have no idea who's coming on next. In terms of I have a list of those who are supposed to come now. If it is who I think it is, Mr. Producer, go ahead and chime him in. I think I know who it is. If we don't have anyone yet, because I know he's supposed to call in about now. So if he's not, then we'll go ahead and ask a few questions to Justina and Patty.
yes.
I'll go ahead and start with one of the questions that me and you were thinking about, because they think they're getting off scot-free and bringing all these panelists and we don't get to ask them no deep questions. So, because we want to know what is the mind, because I was going to call this show the minds of the greats, right? The anniversary of great minds, the minds of the greats. So let's find out what they know.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna start with you, Patty. We still sisters though.
Oh my God, I'm good.
Okay, so we always see you on the show so confident, so poised, but
Really?
there are some stuff that go on behind the scenes. So tell us, what has been your most embarrassing moment on the show live?
Oh my God, most embarrassing moment on the show live. I have so many, but when you're besties with the producer, you can't edit anything out.
On the live show?
On the live show, you can.
No, I would say probably my most embarrassing moments on the show is when I start talking too soon and it's not time for me to talk yet. It's really hard keeping up with the cues and then just knowing when to come in and when not to come in. But I had one show, man, I still go back and watch that episode where we were sitting dead silent for a good 5 seconds and they were waiting on me and I was just and it wasn't even they always catch you when you're not looking pretty. You know what I mean? I'm like, why didn't y'all get a pretty view? But it was in the camera and just off staring. And then I looked at it and I was like, okay, so we're live. And then you have to kind of snap back into it. It's okay when you're live, but watching it like a replay, producer would have edited that out. So I just have to live with it. But it wasn't the nicest. It wasn't the nicest deal.
Wow. I know hosting a show is not easy at all.
It's not easy.
Kudos to you guys. Kudos. Thank you for all you do.
All the time that Patty would, talk before she's supposed to, I actually thought she was oblivious. It makes perfect sense now, because she was always jumping in, when she wasn't supposed to. Somebody's talking and she cuts them off, and
Anyways, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, all right. Well, since we're moving on, Justina, I was thinking because we know that you and your twin brother, identical twin brother, usually work in tandem and coming up with some of the topics. What goes into selecting a specific topic for any given show?
So, like I said, we do have meetings on Tuesdays, and most of the time before we meet, Justice will send in suggested topics, and the host will meet and we'll talk about it. Like I said, we just sit here. I sit here look as like I'm looking, but the topic normally Justice will, give us a suggested topics, and they'll talk about it, and then we'll meet and decide, okay, which one are we going for now, like for the next 2 weeks, and which panelists do you think we need to reach out to? Every topic depends on the panelists that we want to bring in. So Justice mostly does most of the work, and then when the panelists meet, we will just decide on which topic we are going with, and then we start working on the questions and on the panelists. So I normally don't do much.
You normally don't do much. Oh, for somebody who don't do much, you're usually always tired. So we know you're doing a lot. You just don't tell us you're doing a lot.
Yes, but with
your
my lipstick and makeup, I always put it together, and then come and sit on it with my Chinese eyes, like and make sure I'm good.
It's funny because I always say that when you're a woman, there's a lot that God has blessed you guys with that you can always look your best, even when you don't feel like your best. I was very careful with my words because I know my wife is watching. But for men, when you're ugly, you're just ugly. It's just not much you can do. It's just
well, these days things have changed.
These days, that's a lot you can do, Sinclair.
Sinclair can literally come out from the barbering salon with hair. Yeah.
So what can a man do if
you don't have hair like Sinclair?
Well, exactly, because it ain't growing back.
Don't you see people go to the salon and then they put like wigs on there and they
like the toupee and all that.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, guys, Sinclair has a lot of hair. Clearly,
thank you. It's right here.
I see it. Yeah.
And because God is funny, so God put all the hair on my chest and took them off my head. So it's in places where I don't need it. You know what I mean? That's a little TMI. Too much for the show at this moment. So
okay.
Yeah, I'll let Albie take over here while I sit.
Yes. Okay. So this question is for both Patty and Justina. I'm gonna start with Patty and then Justina can chime in. After hosting,
you always starting with her. Thank you.
Okay, now that you said it, Justina, I'm gonna start with you. I'm sorry. So let me start with you, Justina. After hosting the show for 4 solid years, how would you rate your hosting skills?
Oh, terrible. Listen.
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10.
was going to ask me what was one of my most embarrassing days. Trust me, I will give myself, I think I'll give myself 4. Because this
out of
is
10.
Out of 10?
4 out of 10, because this is not.
It's hard.
I learned once time goes on.
the
It's
job.
not something I've ever done before. That's why I wanted to be behind the scenes, because being behind the scenes was really. I was telling Patty, like, I'll tell them, Justice, time, ask the next question. But then when I started, I'm like, man, like Justice said, it's hard. I'd never learned that. I mean, I've never taken theater or anything like that. So it's hard. I don't think I'm really good at hosting. I love to smile. I'll just smile and laugh. And then, that's what I've been doing. I'll give myself 3.5, 4.
Oh, wow. I'm surprised you would give yourself a 4 because I really think so highly of you. I think you do.
Really?
Amazing. Yeah.
No idea.
And I would definitely rate you way higher than you're rating yourself right now. Yes.
My heart is always pounding, like
Right.
5-10 minutes. As soon as I log in for the show, my heart is going like this. Like, I'll mute myself and come out and say, babe. My heart is pounding. Like, I'll be like, babe. Like, I'll give myself 3.5, 4. I think.
And again, that is what makes you a great host, because you are able to succumb the nervousness and the fear and still put on a smile and make sure the show goes on. So you are doing amazing. Sinclair and I will rate you behind the scenes, but I would definitely give you an A. You were killing it, girl. Patty, let's move on to you.
Wow, awesome. Patty, what you got?
No, seriously, I'm with Justina because I think it's really hard. And one of the things with host is keeping the vibe going. Because, you know, we are doing this show live. Okay. This is not pre taped, this is live. So, in all of our tiredness and glory, coming from church, feeding the husbands, the kids, and then having to quickly shift over here. Sometimes you haven't eaten. That's why Justina's always hungry. Because after we feed everybody else in the house, we can't eat. So, most of the time on the show, we're like, can we finish so we can eat? Like, you know, so it's a lot. So I think sometimes even just you feel off because you feel so tired. And if you are tired, then it kind of dims everything. So we have to come on here and like be super excited and hyper. So I think because of that, sometimes it's like, okay, maybe we're overacting. We're not actresses. So we suck at acting. So Sinclair, to your comment, if I don't talk, I'm gonna go to sleep. I have to keep talking. I'm like my daughter. She was talking in the back yesterday. Today we were coming home, telling us what she learned in Sunday school. She was talking. My husband was like, "She's still talking." I'm like, "She's talking," and then 2 seconds later, she went to sleep.
Oh, she was talking herself to sleep.
Like if the mouth ain't running, I'm just gonna go to bed. So I will probably say the same. I'll probably say 4.5.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, there are days that I text party. I'm like, girl, I'm sleepy. What did you say? Like, I'm sleeping.
Yeah. You know, there's a lot that we're multitasking because you guys see us looking this way. You know, a lot of the feedback that I used to get was like, Patty, look straight. And I'm like, I can't look straight because I got to look at this monitor and read what Justina say and make sure I didn't miss that question. And it's like, you know, there's so many different things you're doing and like, trying to check this. And then people are sending in comments. You got to read all of them because I don't want nobody mad at us because we skipped their question.
Yeah, right. I mean, and you know what? I'm glad you brought up since we're filling in. Let's go ahead with some of the comments that we are seeing before somebody gets mad at me. Then that let me see. Somebody asked a question, but I'll skip that question and just go straight to the let's see D was laughing. I think they were laughing at what I said about the men. And Jess App says wow Sinclair. D says Sinclair. I think is the same wow Sinclair. Kwesi says Sinclair, are you for men or against us? My wife is listening, so I am for men and not against you. Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
It came out all wrong in the way that I was thinking. All I'm trying to say is that if you're a man and you think you are ugly, there's two things you can do. Number one, actually three things. Okay. Number one, either make sure you work out and you're really, really buff, because then they look at you from the neck down. Okay. Number two, make a lot of money. So
that's the most important.
So you're looking at your pocket and not your face, okay? And then number three, do what most ugly people do. They just pray, okay? God can solve everything.
I don't think there's any ugly person. I think
that really. Do you see? You said you had Chinese eyes, and I'm not saying anything about Chinese eyes, but if you're squinting, you won't be able to see. Some people are just not.
They are just. I think I would say they are not all that attractive. Maybe to you, but might be attracted to other people.
That's very true. See, I myself, I don't consider myself attractive enough. I told my wife that God has blinded her is the reason why that, or have like put a veil over her eyes and she never lifted it during the wedding. So, you know, she still think I'm handsome. So I'll go with that. One of the questions,
you is handsome. What you talking about?
I mean, she dressed me. So, you know, if anybody's thinking of this thing, she did this, not me. I have zero style whatsoever. It's a question from Kwesi Entry Boache. It says,
mention the name really well, please.
Oh, is that your husband? Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. I see why you're so defensive. Well, you mentioned the name then. What's your name?
Kwesi Entry Boache.
Amen. All right. He has a question on the comments. He says, question for Patty and Justina. Tell one of the lessons you have learned on the show. That's a great question. Oh, and since this question is from your husband, you should go first.
One thing I've learned from the show. I mean, you learn a lot, but one thing I've learned is everything that we talk about on this show is all about God. And I remember one time, I forgot what the topic was. We had a show and we talked about letting God lead. And KG mentioned, oh man, I forgot the hashtag. He mentioned about getting up and everything that you do, just letting God be the center of it. You know, so every conversation that we've had here throughout the years is it all goes back to letting God take the lead and letting God be the center of everything, whether about marriage, finances, raising kids, abuse. We've had shows where we talked about physical abuse, emotional abuse, like basically violence in the home, and you know, talking about forgiveness and preparing your year well, studying your year well, whatever we talked about. At the end of the day, we always talk about letting God be in the center of everything. So I believe that's one thing I've learned throughout this show. That's what I was saying.
Wow. Wow. Man, well, we thank God. Patty, what do you have?
Justina said it all. I'm gonna say camera angle matters.
I mean, that's very straightforward.
The camera
What
angle.
makes you say that?
No, I mean, I think, you know, just we used to do this thing at the beginning of the show way back in the day when we used to meet in person. You know, with this virtual piece is a little bit different, but we still have to talk about it. But, you know, just being self-aware, you know, when you're not in certain atmospheres, you really just don't think about certain things. But being on the show, you realize, like, as a female specifically, right, what you have on, you're more cautious of it. And I think if you take it a little bit further, you know, because you're in this space, we're thinking about all these things. We used to have a whole protocol we used to go through with our panelists, like, listen, what you wear, what you look like, make sure the camera is not angling in the wrong spot. This is a, you know, a church platform. We don't want any wahala stem. But, you know, I said the same thing. And I'm like, you know, in the church, we should think about the same thing. Because oftentimes we don't, as young adults, we come into church and we're like in the front row with these mini skirts, stressing out our poor pastors and elders and preachers, you know, like these things matter. So I think that's one of the things that I've learned, like just really being self-aware of your environment and then adjusting quickly to fit that environment. Without great minds, you know, these are lessons that I don't think I will ever really think of. So because of that, when I'm doing certain things or I'm going certain places, it's made me very self-aware. Right. I learned to be very self-aware depending on where I am, even if it's a speaking engagement, I'm on Zoom, I'm in person. It just kind of makes you think a little bit further. And honestly, if it wasn't for the production and all that goes into just even sitting in this chair, you know how many pillows I'm on? Because I'm actually 5'1". Okay. I'm not that tall. So even if I take these pillows that I'm on off, you guys can only see like this much of it. So when I say it matters, think about it, let it marinate.
Let me stay with you, Patty, for a little bit. So, based on all what you said, right? If there was one thing you could change about the show, and it doesn't have to be one, if you could change multiple things about the show, what would that be?
Okay, so I probably have like a really serious way to answer this question and like a not so serious way. Only
Let's get
because
both.
like
Let's get it both.
I'll start with the not so serious way. Because if you look at all the manpower and all the man hours that goes into the show, the least great minds can do is just keep my wig collection up to date. The least they can do. And I've asked about this for years, but it's okay. My husband takes care of it. I'm not gonna mind you guys. But no, on a serious note, I think I would definitely like to see more engagement too from our leadership, like not leadership like here in the Carolinas, but just nationally. Like I would love to see some of our pastors and some of our elders in the comments. We see a lot of the members and we do see some, but I would love to see more just because the comments that you guys give us behind the scenes, we really pull a lot of our topics and a lot of our insights from those things. So it'll be nice to kind of get a perspective of what you want to hear about. Because I think one of the things that made Great Minds unique was in the beginning, we used to have random people call into the show.
Yeah.
Call in and share your thoughts, or even be in a chat, share your thoughts, and let's pull it in. So I think when we say that you are equally a part of this show, we take that so serious. So I would love to see more interaction in the comments. And I don't want to see y'all putting stuff in the comments now that I said it's too late.
Oh yeah, it's coming. It's
Yeah.
coming. Let's
But
go to
no,
the
we have
comments
some
right
faithful ones that stay in the comments all day. But I
Yeah.
think that's some of the things that I would love to see more of an uptick in, because it really helps the show and it really helps the interaction, and it helps your voice also in helping us direct how we want to do things.
Wonderful.
And a paycheck wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, a paycheck wouldn't hurt. Yeah, since
Yep.
I came on as a guest host, I've been asking for a paycheck, but apparently,
Hey, you that just came asking for checking me, I'm waiting for wait.
I thought you were already getting paid. So why would I even think you had issues? I thought you guys were getting paid. But I'm
Doing the work of the Lord.
Now, speaking of comments, let's
This
go
is
back
the
to the
work of the Lord.
Amen.
Yes, amen.
I think just Apia basically says, "Hey, I'm hearing things."
Yeah, so you know.
I mean, that's what it says. It says just app, and I think I know who that is. So I just basically just Apia. So I'm gonna read exactly what it says. Just app. All right. It says, "Hey, I'm hearing things. Good. I'm glad your ears are open in just app. God bless you." Leslie Scott says, "You are all doing so well. Thanks for sharing the birth of great minds." And Sinclair, you are handsome. Oh, stop. Can you text that again, like after the next 5 minutes, just in case I forget? Thank you, Leslie Scott. Keep learning and teaching God's people. That is one of the foundation of great minds. Everyone is welcome, but because we are children of God, anything we say usually in the back of our mind, that is literally where it comes from. We can't do anything without it. It is like just breathe into us. I can't go 5, 10, 15 minutes without saying something about God. That's just how we all are. So we appreciate you noticing that. Just app again. This just app. It says laughing at Patty. Great point for Justina and Patty. And just app again. Oh man, I won't laugh. Great one, Patty. I think he's talking about your wig collection.
Oh, this ain't no wig, boy. This is my real. Don't do that.
I mean, wait. How do we know that? Oh, no comment. Okay, great. I'll be going.
I was gonna say, Patty, can you try holding a ponytail like
Oh no, like I was about to ask for your husband to come back with the fan, but
with
if
a fan?
the wig,
No,
you might not be in a good place. So
this is God's natural glory.
okay,
Amen.
I mean, it's Sunday, so I wouldn't expect you to lie like that. But it's so good. Go ahead.
Okay, so before I move on to Justina, I'd like to give a special shout out to Mrs. Sinclair for styling Sinclair to look so handsome today. Yay. We see you, sis. You know you are listening in, so give us hi so that we can know you're here. God bless you. So Justina, if I were to give you a magic wand that you would wave to change something about great minds, what would you change?
What would I change? Oh, see, I don't like y'all.
She's like,
Y'all should have told me so I can think about it. Babe, come here, help me. What would I change? What would I change? I don't think there's a lot I would change. In the sense of great minds personally have helped me a lot, like with public speaking and all that. And I also think has been a grant for so many people, like panelists that we've invited to join us. So and it has really helped them with like their communication skills and all that. What would I change? What would I change?
she's gonna ask that question 7 times. Ain't nothing to
I
change.
know. I don't know if I want to change anything because I think every show has been a lesson, and every show help us learn something that we need to either improve on or change. But so far I don't think I want to change anything. I wish we can do more in person though. I wish we can do more in person, but to change anything, it has been a lesson. It has been a blessing. Whether there have been days that we failed to come on time because of technical difficulties, or there have been days that we have to cancel the show 30 minutes to the show because two of the panelists had emergencies that how do you remember? We were all ready to, and then we had to but all of that it has been a lesson for us. So I don't think I want to change anything so far. I think it's been a very good lesson.
And can I piggyback off of Justina Sinclair or Alvi who asked the question?
Yes.
I think to Justina's point, definitely in person. But the reason why we cannot do in person is limited resources, technology. So if anybody watching out there wants to bless great minds with the ability to run in person, we would love to. To pull this thing with the internet, where the church is blessing us at their mercy. We do the streams directly from the local church here. Our pastor, like we mentioned, our pastors, current and past, have been amazing and supportive in allowing us to do that. But it's a lot to do. So anytime we start to plug into that direct outlet to get all that internet, I don't know how to do it. This is a simplified version of what producer does. But I see them plug it into stuff and then they try to pull the current, it just does not current. It just doesn't come. So then it delays, and we don't want to delay you guys. We don't want to glitch. We don't want to start a conversation because it's really important to us that we're impacting lives and we're changing generations through some of these topics. So if any kind person out there wants to sponsor us to allow us to buy the equipment we need to run in person, we're definitely up for the donation. Just text me and then I'll direct you where you should send the funds.
Wonderful.
In other words, please text Justina, anybody who's watching. or Elder Justice. So in person would be great as well. I think our producer also chimed in that he would also be looking forward to an in-person as one of the changes we can make. Back in our comments section, Leslie Scott mentioned that maybe diverse topics and generation can draw a diverse group. I think that also makes sense. But for anyone who is still watching, we take topic like points on topics of anything you guys want us to cover that we have not. You can always chime in, before the show, after the show. Just let us know what you want us to talk about, what interests you. And even if it doesn't interest you, chime in anyway. Let us know, like, hey, I saw the show today, was not that interesting to me. So we know which areas to cover, which way to go. But thank you, Leslie Scott, for that. I definitely agree.
If I can say this, there are days that we have great topics, but that we can't really talk about it because we don't have panels to really come on. And like Patty said about resources, finding panelists, people outside the pool of people we always pull out from, right? Getting people to really volunteer. I mean, one show, I don't know, like I did mention, 2 panelists actually canceled on us. 30 minutes to the show, we've had panelists, oh yes, I'll be there. They have given a yes, that their thumbs up, but then a couple of days to the show, they will text you, I'm sorry, I can't do it. So that has been some of the challenges for us that we are facing. So, I mean, we are just praying that we'll find people and we'll have dedicated people that will really support us. Because, yes, this is not a paid show. We can't pay you to come on it. This is a community. This is a Christian community, things that we want to talk about to really impact now generation, the generations to come, and talk about things that we normally don't hear from the pulpit, right? Really discuss it to educate people, but then we find it difficult to get panelists. We find it difficult to get specialists, people who are really specialized in a topic that we want to talk about. So that has been some of the challenges that we do face, but we know as time goes on, things will get better.
And Tina, as Tina is saying, I just have one last thing because this just dropped in my head. I totally forgot because it's on the lines of some of the support and some of the things we get. Our regional head, Apostle Joseph Akoto. Did I say it right? Yep. Apostle. like if he's busy, he can be doing, he travels a lot. You guys know, again, he's running the whole entire Carolina region. But this man will do a placeholder. This man of God will always go back and watch Great Minds.
Yeah.
I think it's so phenomenal. Like no matter how busy he is, he can be in Ghana, he can be anywhere, but he'll always go back and watch Great Minds, and then he'll send us feedback, and he'll always send us encouragement. And I think it's so beautiful because, you know, somebody on that level, he's so busy. Even today, I'm sure he's probably watching us now. He'll go back and watch the episode, and Justina and I, you know, on Sunday we'll be there, and he'll preach about it, and we're like, oh my God, you know, it's so amazing. But I think, you know, a support like that, it's not necessarily even that you can't physically come on the show, but anything you have for us, right? You know, like Patty, maybe you should wear green instead of black. I don't know. We want to hear it.
They're not worried about that.
It's really helpful, Sinclair.
I'm sure. You know, with that being in mind, Albie, before you start the next line of question, I think back in the comments, Leslie Scott, once again, thank you for being active in the chats, and we welcome anyone. She basically mentioned that before school starts, talk about going back to school and prayer. And I think, you know, Justina, yeah, right. We talked about that because I think it's definitely necessary. So much happens in school where that's where most people feel safe, and a lot of things happen in school that does not make a lot of people feel safe. So I think talking about that in what we face as students is very, very important. Like when the time comes and we do, I'll share with you guys a story of my first day in New York City in the Bronx as a high schooler. Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. Listen, I wanted to cry and just go home. I was like, you know, so yeah, it was traumatic, you know. And then they expect you to get.
I want to hear. Do we not have
No,
time?
he said when the time comes.
When the time comes, because it's a great idea from Leslie Scott, and she says she would love to be a panelist as well. So
Wow.
we have people chiming in and letting us know. So thank you so much for chiming in, Leslie Scott. We will definitely keep that in mind. Albie, take it away.
Okay. Wow. Thank you guys for sharing. And I think from all that you said, Great Minds is open to taking sponsorships, right? Patty, Justina, we would like to take sponsors. Yes. So
Trending.
we have a lot of business
Anyone
owners,
with-
entrepreneurs. We have a lot of rich people. So if you would like to sponsor the program, we would
Yes.
gladly.
And it doesn't matter whether you're ugly or handsome. Don't worry about that.
We take everybody's money. Listen, we don't
Yes,
know.
because that's what we want to do. We want to go live.
Yeah.
And based on that, Justina, I'm gonna start with you because you are the vision bearer of the show, right? And then after that, I'll move on to Patty. And I know we have all bought into that vision, right?
Yeah.
But I want to know 4 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, we are projecting into the future. Where do you see Great Minds?
Oh, I do believe Great Minds is going to be great in the future. One thing it's under the church, so of course, we have to talk to the church about it. We have to talk to our leadership about it. But before I say this, our national head doctor, Apostle Dr. Michael Amwakun, literally took Great Minds, and then, like I said before, we're rotating, paying the what was it? Was it StreamYard? It wasn't StreamYard.
Restream.
Yes, and
One
then
of the streams.
one of the streams. Thank you. And then he met with us and said the nation is going to pay for it monthly. So now we don't make those payments. Apostle make those payments, and he will literally call, text Patty, why are you guys not on Great Minds today? So he also watches it. So God bless you, Apostle Michael Amako. With 5 years from now, I really pray that we'll have not only on YouTube or on Facebook, but really have a station, you know, a TV station where a channel where we have is just for Great Minds, you know, and then it's another venue for the church to propagate the gospel. Where, you know, it's about how many besides TBN and CBN, how many Christian channels do we see? Is it out there? So it has been my vision. I'm praying And of course, I'm not going to 5 years from now, if we pray that God will take us there, and the church will also agree, where we'll have a channel for Great Minds, Church of Pentecost, Great Minds, preaching the gospel, showing, telling people outside how great our God is, and talking about these kind of things that our health and marriages, things that we see every day that we normally don't hear from the pulpit, things that people don't really want to talk about, right? Things that's going on that will have that platform to talk and educate people, and also preach the gospel. That's my heart desire. That's what thing I've been praying for. And I also pray that God will bring us, like we've been talking about, bring us people to help us. You guys have been amazing. Bring people like you guys, more people to help support the Great Minds and also support the church to be able to get to that level. So that's one thing I've been praying.
Wow, that's amazing.
And also get way more Patty, because it's kind of
it sounds like Great Minds has had a lot of support from our
Yeah.
pastors and from the leadership of the church. And I'm not surprised. That is mainly why Great Minds is still thriving, because to have the national head step in and relieve host of even financial responsibilities, that is amazing. And so based on all these things, we can trust God to
Amen.
bring us more, right? Patty, I'm going to pause with you because we have a guest coming on
Yeah.
the show. And as soon as we get that guest, please put your thoughts together where you see Great Minds. We'll come back to you. Sinclair, please take over.
Okay, awesome. So before we bring the panelists on, quickly we jump on to the comments. I think D says we need a sponsor, y'all, for vacation to host a destination of Great Minds.
that would be great.
No, it'd be great. So I'm thinking like, I'm not sure if this is how D was thinking, but we not only need sponsors so that the host can take vacations, but we also need sponsors so we can take the show on a vacation and do it in different spots. So both of them would be great. Leslie Scott says that's a great idea for the Great Minds channel. I think we all definitely agree. Instead of bringing just one guest on at once, we're going to do two of them.
Hey.
I think we have two, if I'm correct. Our producer told us we have two. We'll bring both of them on at the same time, especially because of the time we have. So let's see who it is. Door number 1 and 2, we have
Doctor.
our elder doctor or Dr. Elder, whichever
Oh
one.
my goodness.
First. This is our elder, Dr. Ford. And if our second guest is there.
Hey! Original.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Doing good. How is you? How is everybody?
Now, we haven't seen you for so long. Would you state your name
I
for
know.
everyone? The full name, because every time I try to say it, I mess it up because I know the Ofori, but how do you say your first? Say the whole name, bro. Just say the whole name.
Right. So my full name is Ofori Mensa Baidu.
Oh, nice.
Mensa Baidu. Look, I've been removed from Ghana for so long. I'm still learning it. Kakra. Is that how you guys say it? Is it?
Oh my God.
Never mind about that. Go ahead with the question. I'm just gonna.
Welcome, guys. Elder Ford, welcome, Baidu. Good to have you on the show. So just tell us quickly, when you came on the show, what topics were being discussed? Elder Ford, I'm going to start with you. Just
I'm not gonna lie.
At all.
I'm not gonna. Oh, I think we did one on friendships. I think that was one of the first ones. I think that was in person. Yeah, it was in person in Charlotte. I think we talked about friendships. That's the one that I remember.
Okay, what did you learn about that show?
Man, I think I learned that like, if my memory it's been so long, it had to be like 4 years ago. Or I think longer.
Down the memory lane.
This was a while ago. I think we're still wearing masks at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the friendship one was pretty cool because like I think we got to see just how different dynamics, like how different friendship dynamics work, and you know, like what were some of like the healthy patterns in friendships, and what like some of the not so healthy ones were. And I think to be able to like make correlations with like friendship with Jesus was really cool. So those are some of the things that I remember, if I'm remembering correctly, that we talked about in that episode.
Wonderful. That's great. I also know that you have been on the show quite a number of times. What has been some of the challenges that you have faced as a panelist on the show?
Oh, I don't think I've had. The only challenges I've faced is with Deaconess Patty's questions. Those questions in the beginning. Yeah, those would be my only. Yeah, those icebreakers are
Brain, I'm the right person. The Ford is the only one that's most terrified of those icebreakers.
I'll be terrified. I'm like, I don't know what question is gonna come. I need to prepare. And the thing is, you don't know the questions ahead of time, so it's like, you just never know. So yeah, that has been my challenge as a panelist.
Can I say something to make you feel better?
Sure.
So today we gave her some icebreakers.
Oh, very good, very good, very well deserved.
So we paid back on your behalf.
I really appreciate it. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Baidu, I'm gonna come on to you. Tell us a bit about the show. What topics have you covered since you've been a guest or a panelist?
So the last time I was a panelist was about when we first began. And I'll be quite honest, I don't remember since it was 4 years ago. I don't remember too much. But I do remember like the conversations that we were having were about like real world topics. And a lot of it was tailored to just the younger generation. A lot of it was for us and for us to have a space to talk, have a space to discuss matters that, you know, when you're in church, you're usually just sitting down, listening. But here we were able to discuss this, hear other people's opinions, other people's thoughts about it. So that's kind of what I really remember mostly, just that we were all going around having discussions. And what I really enjoyed was they tried to have a lot of people from different age ranges. So myself was included on that panel. And we also had Michelle, who's a bit younger than I, but she was also on that panel. And I just liked how we were all just a part of the younger generation, that we were able to discuss different topics and stuff like that. So
wonderful. And before I let you go, I have one last question for you. How much did they beg you to be a part of the show?
Honestly,
they do.
They didn't have to beg me. They just simply asked. I think at the time though I was working, so I had to leave a little early, some shows and stuff like that. But other than that, they didn't beg me. It was just COVID time, so we had to work with what we had. But it was an amazing time.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sinclair. Do you have anything for our guests?
No, thank you both for making an appearance, taking time out of your busy schedule. We greatly appreciate you guys for making Great Minds what it is. Without panelists and those who are involved as much as both of you, we wouldn't have this show. So God bless you both for pulling up. God bless you for showing up. Let's give it a clap. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, before, wow, our time is fast spent. I had so many questions just regarding the wig alone. I had about 5 more questions, but we have a small video we would like to go ahead and show. But before we do the quick show, let me take this moment to thank a few names that if we have forgotten. We want to thank Elder Kweku Boateng. We want to thank Elder Felix Champong. If I'm saying any of these names wrong, you guys already know I have issues. We would like to thank Elder Justice Champong. All of these, I believe, is in Charlotte. We also like to thank the district youth in Pensacola, Elder Kwesi.
No,
that's a different one. Okay, so we also like to thank, that's Justice. Okay, yeah. Man, that's your twin brother. We'd like to thank your twin brother for not wanting to host. We will also like to thank Elder Kwesi Apiahene. Did I say that right?
Why you putting my husband to cry?
We would like to thank Bernice Apia. We want to thank Kweku Jemfi. who has been like one of those reoccurring panelists. Anytime you need him, you call him and he shows up. We want to thank Doreen, always making it happen. Michelle as well. I think you meant Ofori basically said that as well. So go ahead, producers. We want to thank you all as well. If you have the quick video, let's go ahead and run that. And if you're still in the chat, tell me what you think while you guys are watching some of this.
Justice, so you got me on time on this, right? So
Yes,
I'm going to go over some quick
Right on
rules
it.
if you guys remember from last week. So this game is you have 5 seconds on the clock to give me 5 questions in the area of interest that I'm asking about. Now, Justice, if I remember correctly last week, the girls won.
I don't remember that.
No, the girls won. That's how I remember it. Ladies, we won last week. That's how I remember it. So we're going to keep that wave going, or we're going to keep the girls versus boys. So I think we'll keep it BG, even though we have everybody a little bit scattered around here because we're practicing our social distancing, but we're still going to keep it going here. So I'm going to start with the guys, ladies, if that's okay. So Samuel and Baidu. Justice, whenever you're ready, you got 5 seconds on the clock. I'm going to take you back to all the way back to Sunday school, okay? Okay. You have 5 seconds to give me 5 of Jesus Christ's disciples. Go.
Matthew, Mark,
John, Bartholomew.
Wait, I got 3. John.
No, he said
Time out.
You said Matthew, right?
John, Bartholomew,
Mark. I think somebody
Mark.
said Mark.
He said Mark.
Well, Mark is not.
Mark is not a disciple, guys. All right, guys. All right, you tried. Not bad, not bad. Okay, so let's go to the ladies. Ladies, I'm gonna take you a little bit different here, okay? So, ladies, this is not easier. You got 5 seconds on the clock to name 5 continents. Go.
Africa, Europe, North America, South America, Asia.
All right,
Wow.
Guys, I promise the questions are just aligned like this. This is not me doing this purposely, okay? So you have 5 seconds on the clock to name 5 states that do not have the letter A in them.
North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia.
Time out.
Time out.
You said You see, guys, you see what he's doing?
Okay, ladies, let me take you all the way back to like history class, okay? Oh boy. Name 5 of the United States presidents. Go.
George Washington, Abraham Lincoln,
Clinton.
Barack Obama.
Okay.
Trump.
Time out.
Trump. That's right.
I got it right on time.
Time was
I got it right on time.
Why did we get it, Hobby?
Okay, I'm gonna give you a really easy one. Don't worry. Okay, give me 5 shades of blue. Go.
Navy blue, sea blue, taco.
Taco? Taco like the food?
Time out.
No.
Turquoise.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought she was interfering with our time.
She was interfering. Another question.
Okay, that was good. I'll give you guys another question. I did interfere.
That's interference.
All right, so name 5 things that can fly.
Go.
Airplane,
Birds,
bears,
a paper airplane,
leaves.
Time out.
Leaves. Okay.
Fly organically.
Butterflies, bees fly, a
Organically.
drone,
Thank you.
right? All right, ladies, so I know you guys are going to be killing this because this is our area of expertise.
Okay.
Name 5 types of flowers. Go.
Roses, violets,
Sunflowers.
Tulips.
Peonies.
You see what I told you? The ladies won last week. 5-5. That's like 5-5.
That was easy question.
No.
You get 3 easy questions.
All right, guys, I'm going to give you a super easy one. Our last question, and then we'll jump into our hot topics for today. So, guys, name 5 types of pets.
dogs, cats, monkeys, lizards, snakes.
Girl, what kind of pets? In what country are those pets?
USA.
All right, thank you so much, panelists, for playing with us today. We're going to go ahead and pass it to Justice to get us started, guys.
Wow.
Where's Beidou? Bring Beidou back.
Man, I tell you. Wait, what did someone say? I didn't know leaves could fly. Man, I tell you. He said planes and paper airplanes. They both fly. What can I say? Oh my goodness. So in the comments, I think Dee was just laughing. Said this is the first show. Obviously, she remembers. Jess App says that was the first show. Wow, that was fun.
That wasn't the first show.
It wasn't the first show?
No.
Okay, well, we need a video of the first show. If you guys can find it in the archive for the next time.
I know, we need to find it.
Yeah. So this has been an absolute joy. You guys have continued. Oh, by the way, before I forget, that was my brother Samuel Apia. Am I saying the name right? Okay. Yeah. And that was the beautiful Afia Echiampong. I was about to say her maiden name. But yes, and they have also been the foundational piece of this show. I mean, way from the beginning as well. So we want to thank them, bless them, and because without them, we couldn't make this show the way it is. We have one more comments in Jan. I can't even say it right. Janim89. The OG panelist needs to be paid royalty. I agree. I mean, I know I wasn't one of the OGs, but I definitely agree.
But Jemima was definitely an OG panelist, Jay.
Yeah.
Shout out to you.
Okay. Well, Dee says the second show. Oh, she said that's the second show, so you might be right. Dee's been on it. I mean, in the chats, she knows what show started. We're definitely gonna call you for the panelist, so you can basically continue to do what you've always been doing. So thank you so much, Dee. Thank you for all the people that are able to come as a guest panelist. Thank you for those who commented in the chat. Thank you, my wife, for texting me and on the board. Thank you, my wife, for letting me know that I look good. Thank you, and I appreciate it. She dressed me. If y'all didn't know, I already said that already. But
I think 3 times.
Patty's always talking about her husband, so I might as well talk about my wife.
Oh yeah,
I like
she is the bomb. So I have a few. I think I have a few announcements before we go. If I am correct, Mr. Producer put the first one up. I believe there we go. You have a Pensa Conference 2024. The dates are July 11th through the 14th. July 11th through the 14th. This is in Greenville, South Carolina. There is a Greenville, North Carolina. Please don't make the mistake going to the wrong one. Yeah. Greenville, South Carolina. You can find more info in the Youth Pen. So we also have a National Youth Week. This will be June 28th. I need to put on my glasses. Friday, June 28th, Saturday, June 29th. This is an in-person at Charlotte PIWC. 7 p.m. to 2 p.m., I believe. So we also have the National Camp. Dates is Sunday, August 4th, 2024, Tuesday, August 6th. Tuesday, August 6th, 2024. More details coming soon. Register your child. And because we know Justina has like 10,000 children, she will register all of them.
And Justina herself is going to, so.
Good, awesome. Patty, are you gonna register some of your kids?
He's going.
Are you going to
register all my 60 kids?
Yes, all of them. Yeah. All and your wonderful husband.
Live and colored. And today's the last day for the Pensa. I mean, to register for
the conference. Cuts off at midnight. Get in there and register.
Awesome. All right, Albie, any last words before we let these panelists?
Before you guys come. Yes. We've got a minute, but I still want to hear from you, Patty.
Oh, yes. What do we got?
Less than 30 seconds. Great
actually,
can she do it?
It's actually been in the chat. So this is another part of Justina's vision that she threw at us, and it hasn't been executed yet, but we know that God is able. Is Great Minds on the Road, coming to a city near you, right? Wow. That's the future of Great Minds. We're going to Atlanta. We're going to Virginia. We will be, and I've seen somebody actually hinted to that in the chat. So not even just destination, but the Great Mind crew is going to be portable. We're going to be mobile. The goal is to be able to go to different places and, touch different Pensa groups, host at different venues. We have not let that dream go. It's definitely coming. It is patent. So if you're listening, you better not do it. But yes, that is definitely what we have in mind.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. It's been an amazing show. Cheers to great minds. Cheers to higher heights. Cheers to more destinations. And cheers to all the good things that God has in store for great minds. You panelists have been amazing. The production team, all the people who are working behind the scenes. God is so proud of us all. And to our viewers and listeners, keep supporting us, keep chiming in your comments, keep giving us feedback, and keep showing us love. Let's all help take great minds to the next level. Till we come to you again in 2 weeks.
Oh, before that, we also want to say thank you to Sinclair and Abby. For you guys have been amazing, being guest hosts all the time, stepping in, Sinclair. Anyway, thank you. You guys have been amazing.
And shout out to Bole too, Justina. Bole in Atlanta. She's been on the show a few times. She was one of our originals. Shout out to you, sis.
Yeah. Thank you guys. All our panelists. Those who started with us from the first day till now, God bless you. We cannot say God. We cannot say that enough. God richly.
Justina, you are a panelist today. Why are you trying to close this show? Albie, take your show.
I mean, yeah. Well, and lastly, we thank Dee and all those who came on the comments. She says an amazing, great job, guys. And we want to also thank all of our leaders who has made this possible. We know that sometimes when the youth comes with an idea, sometimes it is far-fetched or it may not be what you have seen. I said it all the time to Justina when I started noticing how great the show is, that sometimes God give people visions and they won't see it to fruition. And because of the leaders that we have that surround us, they have allowed us to let this God-given vision to come into fruition. So we thank all the leaders who continue to support us in person, on the phone, through text messages, and through encouragement. So God bless you all. God bless my host and my co-host and all the producers and the panelists.
Man.
Take care.
Great minds, come let us reason together. Great minds, we are open to reality. Oh, we want to know more. We are hungry for more. We are curious, always searching for the truth. Great minds, come let us reason together. Great minds, come let us reason together. Come let us reason. Great minds, come let us reason together.